And Wimpenny wins the draw for Team Forge. She gets them started with the first attack of the game. And straight away invites the likes of Sophia Wise onto the ball and Ella Cohen. Good work there from Sophia Wise to get the first score of the game inside a minute, and the first points for Team Forge. So they've struck first, Annie.
Yeah, I think that's, just as we speak, Em Gray gets the goal back. Very promising start for both teams to be able to get goals off their first possessions.
Very promising stuff for both teams and for all of the fans that are still lining the edge of the pitch, raring to go with some lacrosse action. And Iona Dryden shot sails high and wide, but it's still good to see that those shots are going in nonetheless from an early stage, because sometimes it takes sides a while to get the confidence up.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few matches that have started a bit scrappy, but they've both looking very composed.
Great score from Ella Cohen. We know how dangerous she is, and she showed it straight away.
I think that's been disallowed. She was a crease violation there, so she went into the goal circle, which you're not allowed to do.
She shattered our dreams. We thought that she was going to be scoring straight away from the off, but a crease violation has brought the celebrations to a swift end, and Swift are the ones that score.
Fantastic rebound there from the initial and a level shot.
Well, Emily Chandler won't be put down by that goal going in, and her team are on the attack. Forge coming forwards now. They have the possession. Here comes Rachel Ball with the shot. And somehow Sienna Perec was able to stop that. So we've got a green card being shown here.
It's to Amelia Miller, I believe.
Yeah, just a 30-second penalty for a push there.
You can't push a player just willy-nilly in this game. You've got to have a fair contest for the ball, really, haven't you, Andy?
That's exactly it. It's looking for people. We talk a lot about equal pressure, and when somebody's pushing more than that, then that's a push.
Well, here they come once again. Wimpenny to Wise to Wimpenny. Well, and that pass to Rachel Ball only finds Emily Gray, and she was the missing piece of the puzzle for Swift, really, in that last match. But that's a loose ball which Sophia Wise has pounced on, and she is hurled into the floor. And Emily Chandler getting Forge started quickly once again. She doesn't want them to be hanging around for too long on their very back line. And so here come Forge, firing forwards. Sophia Wise still going. Rachel Ball, Liv Wimpenny. Who can Wimpenny find? Or is she going to go on her own? It's just Miss Sophia Wise.
They've got to be careful for the shot clock here. There we are.
That's
there
a
it
shot
is.
clock violation.
They threw caution to the wind, Annie. Well, here comes Emily Gray out from the back now for Swift. Lottie Robertson on the ball for the first time. Laura Warren. Swift moving this ball around really precisely, quickly as well. Looking for a way through, and they might have found it there. Laura Warren firing her side further into the lead. It's 3-1 in favour of Swift, and they are the ones starting this game strongly and on the front foot.
Absolutely, some very beautifully composed goals there. Good awareness of where the net is, especially when you're taking it with your back to the net.
Oh, Ella Cohen's shot is blocked by Sienna Perec. So Anna Neville starts to canter away with it for Team Swift, and she throws it towards the goal. But a save by Emily Chandler means the Swift still have an opportunity here. Lottie Robertson, the competition's top scorer so far. She's dispossessed by the keeper, Chandler, who gets her side started once again. Ella Cohen might be through on goal. She is! Great score for Ella Cohen. Makes up for the denied one earlier.
Fantastic vision there by Emily Chandler to see Iona was the obvious option, but she was being marked out by 2 players, so managed to do the skip pass to leave Ella Cohen wide free for that.
Well, that's bounced around a little bit too much for Emily Chandler's liking. But that sort of playmaker ability shows exactly why she's captain of this side.
Absolutely, the vision that she has there. That's one of the kind of benefits of being captain when you're at the goal as a goalkeeper, because you can visualise the whole pitch and you can see everything that's happening that sometimes you can't see when you're in the thick of it.
Lulu Rowlands throws that one back to Lottie Robertson. Laura Warren now on the ball once more for Swift. That's an optimistic pass, but it's worked out here. Lottie Robertson's coming in from behind the crease. The shot goes away, but it will roll out of bounds. But Andy, interesting to see that the officials have awarded the ball straight back to Swift.
Yeah, it looked to me that either Chandler in the cage or they got a bit of the pipe on the way past there. It's one of the experimental rules we're working with here at the Fly at the minute is that if the ball hits the post, or the cage as we call it, the goal, it's not a turnover on the shot.
Oh, and that was the shot going away from Sophia Wise for Team Forge. Sienna Perec stepping up to the mark once again, and the keeper
She has had
giving her side an opportunity to go away and potentially score themselves, Annie.
Yeah, Sienna's had a phenomenal day. I think she took it personally that she didn't quite get a player of the match in the semi-finals. She was a close runner to Em Gray, but she's going 100% today.
Well, she's bidding for your favour here, Annie, and she's certainly putting on a show so far as Emily Chandler ventures way out from her goalkeeper crease, but invites the rest of her Forge side potentially into a dangerous situation. And they almost get the score to go with it as well, courtesy of Sarah Butler. But now Anna Neville, the team icon, she's in some space. She's on her own completely, though. She's isolated. She's got the pass away. They are inches away from scoring, but dispossessed in the final moments. Alex Cantor dispossessed, though. And Lulu Rowlands can't keep it as well. This is frantic stuff. And the shot gets away, but it just sails a bit too high. And Emma Brown wasn't going to trouble anyone with that shot. We have got a penalty call here, though, so we're going to our resident referee translator, Andy.
Yeah, that's just a 1 minute slash call there on Forge number 2.
Just remind everyone watching at home again what the slash is.
Oh yeah. So using your stick in a violent or uncontrolled manner, hitting it either away from the stick on the body or anywhere on the body really in the women's game. In the men's game, it's slightly different. You get a little bit more leeway. You can hit the gloved hand on the stick, for example, and because the guys are wearing more protective equipment, we generally give them the benefit of the doubt.
How does that work, though? We're trying to bring the women's and men's games more in line, which is what Sixes is trying to do on a more global scale.
Yeah, so without putting the women in helmets, which is not something that anybody on the women's side would want to do, and I totally understand that. It's one of those things where what they've done is they've slightly increased the amount of contact you can have in the women's version of Sixes. There are certain things you can't do in the women's field game, like check towards the head. You're allowed to do that in Sixes as long as you don't make contact.
Thank you for that, Andy, as we nearly saw another goal scored by Laura Warren. But Emily Chandler stood in.
Winding down the time there. Yeah.
Well, and there goes the klaxon. That's the end of the first quarter. Annie, I'm going to say it now. That's flown by.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know where the last 2 minutes went. I know I said I was going to pick kind of after who had the strongest starts. Forge got the first goal, then it was a bit of a run on Swift, but then Forge have been ticking away, getting those goals in. So yeah, I think Swift are in the lead, so I'm going to give it to them at the moment. They've started strong, so hopefully they can carry that through.
Okay.
Well, let's
Good.
listen
Right, okay,
in
so
on the Forge huddle and
next
see what
first
they have
quarter,
to
we've
say
got
after
another
that
level
first
to find.
quarter of action.
Okay, so just a little bit, like 3-4 posts. Okay, so we're so close with hitting the back of the net. So keep going for those posts though, because we need to keep pushing ourselves. We gave a couple of soft saves. Okay, so quality keeper in there, so we need to make sure we're just moving to finish it off. But we're finding the right opportunities. Okay, especially when we started moving a bit. We got a little bit individualistic in the first 4 or 5 minutes. As soon as we started moving the ball, we're good all day. We are getting caught behind our backs with the cutters coming in. Okay, so we just need to communicate and work a little bit harder on those low slips. The whole team wants to do it, so let's make sure that we're turned out, we're clear who we're on, and lift our voices, especially at the time.
I think earlier when we're running down, we need to turn back and look. They're clearing it out fast. And we're not looking.
I think if you're low, you need to just be more like close to the crease. If you're not literally on just on top side the crease, then you're not in the right place.
Right, we've got 25 seconds. Let's have a nice dynamic attack, okay?
It's our ball, isn't it?
Our ball, nice dynamic attack.
And 4 seconds till we've got it.
We're down by 1. We've got the ball. Let's go. Ready? Up there. Let's go forward.
Just watch the stopping because they're going a little bit early.
Well, after a little breather and a chance to take on some water and some team tactics from their coaches, both sides are out on the pitch, ready to go again with this second quarter. Emily Chandler at the back with the ball at her stick. And 8 minutes to count us down towards the half-time break. And we have started once more. Sophia Wise controlling that ball under difficult circumstances for Team Forge. Sarah Butler went on a bit of a threatening run to try and round the defence, but it's back with Sophia Wise now, who gives it straight back to Butler. This ball is moving at fast, electric pace. And Ona Dryden went from behind the crease to try and get a shot off. That one's gone a bit too wide on that occasion, so Sienna Perec will play out from the back for her Team Swift. Robertson looking for a Swift response, just not hitting the mark, but it is still with Swift. Intervened left, right and centre, interceptions going in. Swift have still got it, but Liv Wimpenny gets the interception now. Has she got the pace to get around the defenders? Have her team got the pace to keep up with her? She's gone on her own. She didn't need anyone.
Fantastic solo play there by Liv Wenpenny to get the interception and then drive it all the way down.
She's tied the game here, 3-3 at Roslyn Park in the Women's Fly 2023 final. And again, Wimpenny with a crucial intervention, but Robertson fighting with all of their might there. Millie Hughes was the one trying to win the ball back for Team Swift. But we have got a penalty call here.
Looks like a green card.
Andy, can you try translating for us? Lots of hand signals thrown around there as usual.
Yeah, so it looks like number 10 from Forge there, she's picked up a 30-second push penalty for forcing the player out of bounds when she was set inside.
So that's Emily Beasley now off on the comfy penalty chair. And Emily Chandler has the ball in the pocket of her stick. Yet again, Annie, she's like a brick wall. You can't get past her.
Exactly. I think, yeah, so both goalies, having Stormers, all the goalies today really, have been making it very hard for the attack. And we're seeing a relatively low-scoring game so far.
We've got a call here by the referees to turn possession over. Andy, what was that for?
That's the 10-second clearing violation there that we've been talking about previously. You've got 10 seconds from the start of the shot clock to clear the ball over the halfway line.
Well, and it certainly fired up the Forge side because they were harassing Swift for the ball.
Oh, just wide by Anna Neville there.
Anna Neville's shot not quite hitting the mark. Annie, I'm going to ask you a quick question, more specific to sixes. You mentioned how important the keepers are and how baffled we all are that they're so important. We keep talking about them every single game. Is that the case across different versions and formats of lacrosse, or is it very prominent just in this sixes format, the importance of the keeper?
Obviously, the keeper is very important across all formats, but what you find is a ton more shots on goal here. So they're facing a lot more shots, so obviously the standard has to be higher. If you've got a weak keeper in goal, you're going to see higher scores. Whereas in kind of full field play, there's a lot more settled play. It's more onus on the defensive work. The defenders in the sixes can't really kind of push the boundaries as much as they might be able to in the fields game, because there's the risk of getting a green or yellow-red card. So yeah, very key.
Now, Andy, we've seen a lot of whistleblowing happen just then, and we're not talking about the Times newspaper. What is going on between the officiating teams?
So for me, it looks like Forge have tried to call a timeout there while they've had their player under pressure. And they're just checking whether, because the ball was checked out of the stick before the whistle came, so they're just making sure she had possession when the timeout was called rather than when the whistle came.
So it was a timeout call that we were trying to question and see whether it was actually valid.
Yes,
that's
exactly
interesting.
that.
It seemed a lot more dramatic than that, Andy. I'll be honest, I am a little bit disappointed. Come with me with some better news later on. But you can see there on this most recent timeout, it's 3 apiece still here at Rosslyn Park. And just look at that Swift huddle. They're all locked in on their coach.
It'll be really interesting to see with Swift here. Quite often the coaches come away from the huddle before they go out and let the senior leadership group within the team.
We're just going to try and have a listen in on the Swift talk now.
Okay, so let's make sure we get back. Let's keep voices going. When you're tired, that's when you need to communicate even more. I know it's hard, but you've got to keep voices up, and we've still got to make sure we step up to the ball. You've managed to make them run out of time a couple of times because you're stepping up. So here we go.
5 minutes at half time, every 50-50, every ground ball, good decisions. Swift on 3. 1, 2, 3, Swift! Here we go.
Timeout over, courtesy of Team Forge. Just over 5 minutes remaining until the half-time break in the end of the second quarter. Still a lot to play for here because we are locked at 3 apiece. And Liv Wimpenny's going to get us started with possession in the hands of Team Forge. Alex Kant trying to use her quick feet to get away, but the ball's going to cross over the halfway mark.
So that's over and
that's
back.
An infringement. Ball moving around very frantically here for Team Swift, intervened by Forge, but somehow Swift keep a hold of it and don't cross the halfway line as well. What can Emily Gray do? That's it, shot clock expired. Possession turned over. Ali, it's a missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity, but they did well to kind of not concede the fast break there when they lost possession and managed to get it back to at least try the shot, even though it was unable to be converted. And now we've got a changeover again. Swift back in possession, or no, Lara with a call.
Translate that for me, Andy. Tell me what's just happened.
So that looks like an empty stick check there by Emily Gray, just checking the stick without the ball in. That'll be a 30-second extra person opportunity here.
So Swift down into a zonal defence. You can see Em Brown and Maeve working the crease and the centre.
Oh, good shot getting away there from Sophia Wise. It was a good option to take, but right now both sides, they really have to make those shots because you can't score if you don't make the shot, and currently it's still a draw.
Absolutely. Both are looking for kind of that breakthrough goal. It's been a little bit stale recently.
Oh, good competition there from Iona.
And that'll be Iona's ball as well, Forge's ball.
Really good work.
She's going to pass on to Ella Cohen. Oh.
Iona Dryden still forcing her way forwards with Forge. Iona Westwood That one dropping out of the pocket of her stick. Ella Cohen, Liv Winpenny. It's bounced away to Anna Neville, and Neville's coming forward with the ball for Team Swift, and it's knocked out of her stick. Ella Cohen with the defensive work, and now the number 12 will take it forward for Team Forge. She seems to be unopposed at the moment. She's looking for her teammates. Are they going to join her as they search for a goal that would see them take the lead? Liv Winpenny. Cohen once again. She's dispossessed by Gray, and she takes a bit of a tumble as well. Emily Gray back to her feet. Sienna Perec well out of the pocket. And that's an easy score for Team Forge, courtesy of Ella Cohen.
I think the goal might not stand. Is that Ella Cohen who's down?
Let's take a look at what the officials have to say in this next interaction. She is clutching her face as if a stick caught her. We hope that she's okay and it's nothing too serious. That's Emily Gray going down there on your replay. And then the shot goes in from Ella Cohen, and she's caught as she makes the shot, it looks like. Well, the goal is still standing on the scoreboard in ground at Rosslyn Park. It's 4-3 in favour of Team Forge as a result. Laura Warren is looking for a way to get her team Swift into action and towards a goal-scoring chance. And Neville scooping up the loose ball. Warren once again. It's evaded everyone, potentially with a good chance on goal, but the shot clock violation. Millie Hughes couldn't get the attempt away soon enough. And so Forge come right back into it. Annie, you can't keep giving away those shot clock violations, can you?
You can't, and I think that was a prime example of where maybe a little bit of a lack of experience playing the sixes format. If that was a full field game, that would be something called shooting space. So actually, as an attacker, you'd have the advantage there, which is why she kind of went to shoot but then hesitated. But in the sixes format, you're actually allowed to at least attempt that shot as long as you can execute it safely.
Really good effort there by Alex Kant, but equally an amazing save by Sienna Perec. Keepers just as important in minute 1 as they are now. Oh, that's an interesting shot going away from Maeve McKenny. And Emily Chandler gets Team Forge started once again. Iona Dryden receives that ball successfully and passes it off. But her team can't make the most of the possession, and instead Perec will go behind.
30 seconds left for Swift to try and even this match up. They need to hold this possession and make sure they take the right option, not the first one.
That's a good shot on goal, but it doesn't trouble Emily Chandler too much. That was Emma Brown thinking that perhaps she'd seen a gap and she'd seen a moment. Oh, could this be? Oh, it's not. I got all excited. I thought it was going to be a buzzer beater by Sarah Butler, but it's not. Instead, it's the klaxon to sound for half-time. So it's currently Forge 4, Swift 3. And the keepers, arguably the most valuable players on the pitch right now, Annie.
Absolutely. Emily Chandler didn't let a goal in that whole quarter, I believe. And only 2 for Sienna Perec. So, yeah, they're on fire. And they're keeping this a very low-scoring game.
It's going to go down to the final quarter for sure. We've already seen how narrow the gap is between the two sides, and long may it continue. And with that in mind, we're going to get the thoughts of Alex Carnegie-Brown, the Forge Women head coach.
Alex, a goal just before half-time, how important was that?
Yeah, it's always good to take a lead in half-time. It's a real pressure game, sixes, so being one up always helps.
And there was a bit of discrepancy about one of the calls. Could you just explain what happened there?
Oh, in the timeout, it was just whether or not we'd called the timeout when we had possession of the ball, which they then ruled that we did. So
Brilliant, ruled in your favour. What's going to be your main message to the team in this final of the Fly, final game of the whole tournament?
Yeah, I think it's a big last 60 minutes. There's some tired legs out there after a hot day, but it's what they're here for. They're here to win. They like playing in the competition, so it's going to be keep calm heads. I think we have another level to find in the second half, so hopefully we're going to go out there and help them find it.
So how are you going to beat Swift? How do you have the edge? You're up now. How are you going to maintain that lead?
I think our goalkeepers had a good game. We just need to put a few more past her. We've definitely outshot them, so our defence is holding strong. So it's just about the back of the net in the second half.
Perfect stuff. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Good to hear there from Alex Carnegie-Brown, the head coach of Team Forge. And there is Emily Chandler on your screen right now. One of the key individuals so far in this Team Forge performance. And the chat has started within the team, the huddle, where they're sharing their thoughts. How are they going to close out this victory? But let's take a look at some of the best moments from the game so far. We've been treated to 2 quarters worth of sixes lacrosse action. And Annie, whilst these roll, tell me what your best moments are, the things that you can pick out from here that really stand out to you.
I think that, the skill level on show has just been phenomenal all weekend across all 3 weeks. But as we've said multiple times, like this finals weekend seems to be the day of the goalie. And they've all stepped up. And, well, you've got like Emily Chandler, who's a England stalwart. And then you've got the young Sienna Perec, who's just showing that anything Emily can do, I can do better.
Anything you could do, I can do better. We've said that time and time again. It's a common song theme here, really, at the Fly 2023, because opposite numbers love going up against each other, and we're seeing some great individual battles out on the pitch, as well as a great team battle right now. But although Swift trail by 1 goal, no one would have thought they'd be in this position. So really, they are the team that can throw everything at this because they've got nothing to lose. There's no expectations on their head.
Yeah, and I think they're riding off that. They've come in being like, we're enjoying the fact that no one thinks we had a chance, and then we're showing exactly what we got. And yes, it didn't quite click in the previous rounds, but they deep down they've said that they all knew that they had the capability to really compete, and they're showing it.
And look, that is the conversation with Alex Carnegie-Brown taking place right now in the Forge huddle. Her team are still 1 point ahead, but it is 1 point. It's not 11, it's not 5, it's 1. And the magic gap that we talk about time and time again is that 5-6 goal mark, isn't it, Annie? But even so, you can never actually guarantee a win.
No, I mean, Forge, I think at one point in the semi-final were 4 or 5 goals up, and then it came to the last minute and they only won by 1 goal, and it was literally right to the last couple of plays. So you need that buffer. So yeah, at this stage you can't call it at all.
Well, we can't call this game. It's very, very close. And with that in mind, we want to hear more coaches' thoughts. We've got Karina Bates of Team Swift who's going to give us her thoughts.
Karina, what were you saying? It's the final, it's the last half of the whole day.
It's just going to come down to who wants it more at this rate. You know, both teams are putting out a great performance. It's going to go goal, 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 goal. Who wants it more? Who's going to win those 50-50s?
We saw you scribbling away on that board there. Can you let us know anything that you're planning? Any tricks up your sleeve?
Of course not. That's top secret information.
Secret information. Well, we'll see if it pays off at the end of the game. So, this sun, this crowd, everything, how great is this event and how great would it be to win it?
Oh, brilliant. We came here to win. That's what we've come here. And this is just such a great spectacle, a great thing for lacrosse. So.
Perfect stuff. Thank you very much, Karina.
We love hearing that Coach Karina has loved the Fly 2023 as much as me, as much as you, Annie, as much as you, Andy. Have you enjoyed the Fly 2023?
I've had a fantastic time. I was here the first weekend. I'm here today. There's nothing quite like it in British lacrosse.
And we are ready for the first draw of the second half. We're back underway here. It might still fall for Team Swift, but it doesn't. It falls for Liv Wimpenny. She's got that fantastic draw win percentage behind her and to her name. Her accolades on the world stage have transferred across to the Fly 2023. And it's with her teammate Ella Cohen now currently. Liv Wimpenny back in possession and gets the first goal of the second half. It's 5-3 now for Forge.
And it looks like they're also going to retake possession because I believe
there is a penalty call here.
Maeve McKenny was a little bit too aggressive. Oh no.
No, the goal's fine. The goal's good.
Goal stands from resident referee translator Andy.
They'll just need to move the ball back down to the goalie to restart. So that was a delayed penalty for a minor foul there, so that's cancelled by the goal.
Okay.
Thank you. I would be so lost without you, Andy. I really would, as would everyone
As
at
would
home. As would Annie. And you're supposed to be the expert.
I'm supposed to know what I'm doing.
Well, here come Team Swift now. What can they do? Oh, Warren. Behind the crease now. Back to Gray. Emily Gray with a shot. Very low-driven shot. Emily Chandler had to think on her feet there. And she thought well. And it means the Forge will clear their lines and give themselves a chance to score once more. Anna Dryden is dispossessed though. Lottie Robertson, the top goal scorer, and now the top defender seemingly for Swift because she dispossessed the Forge number 9. But we started once more. Forge already passing it round, player to player, looking to force Swift to make a hole in their defence. Cohen using some fancy footwork as well of her own. Westwood. Back to Dryden. Someone needs to take a shot here, and Iona Dryden's shot goes in the back of the net. It's another brilliant score for the number 9. Another crucial point for her team, Forge.
Forge are chipping away and building that lead.
Emily Chandler playing out from the back for Forge. Sophia Wise back on the pitch and back with possession. What are Forge going to do here with some time on the ball? They take a shot, and it's a very good shot as well. Sarah Butler looked to trouble Sienna Perec and troubled her well. Liv Wimpenny now gives it straight back to Butler because she had that really good chance on goal. That's a strong challenge from Laura Warren. Is that frustration coming through, Annie?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the ref, so I feel this is a question for Andy.
We'll go to you, Andy. Was that a harsh call or a fair call, or we're just following the rules at this stage?
When you see a player pushed off their feet in sixes, you kind of have to think that there's probably a foul there. It wasn't quite the level of a body check that you'd be looking for, but it's one of those where you get that sort of that instantaneous contact that causes someone to go down. You know, we're not looking at equal pressure there.
I feel it's one of those ones as a defender you feel a little bit hard done by.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you probably didn't even lean into her at all as well, did you, Annie?
No. It's never the defender's fault, is it? No.
Well, we've got another penalty call as well, so Forge will retain possession. We've got another card being shown. It's a yellow card, so 2 players off for Team Swift. And that time was Maeve McKenny. Joins the skipper, Laura Warren. And as you can see, there's only 3 Swift players currently in the outfield ahead of Sienna Perec. They just need to absorb the pressure. Oh, they're back up to 4. But they're not restored to the full 5 outfield. They've only got 5 on the pitch in total. Well, they need to have 6 if they want to stay in this game and stay within touching distance of that championship trophy.
Swift are doing an excellent job of taking up the space in the defence and not letting Forge kind of get that opening.
Fantastic score from Rachel Ball. Great passing motion.
Forge
do a
worked
fantastic
the ball
patient
well
there.
round to get that free player.
Well, Swift are the ones now trying to knock on the door of the Forge goal. And Emily Chandler says, thank you very much. I'll give that one up to Liv Wimpenny. And Wimpenny will take it up into the Swift half because Forge are looking for another score. What can they forge from this attack? Iona Dryden gets them a goal.
Beautiful shot there by Iona.
Well, we're at the magical number 5 in terms of the gap between the two sides. It's 8-3 on the scoreboard currently in favour of Team Forge. What can Anna Neville do for her team here? She's dispossessed, but the Swift attack is alive, and it's thriving as well. Brilliant score by Amelia Miller.
That's a very hard shot to carry out. Top bins.
Top bins,
Top
top quality.
Oh no.
That's a big hit on Iona Dryden. Andy, how do you go forward from here as officials?
So yeah, that'll be a slash call, a 1 minute penalty there. It's one where there wasn't an excessive use of force where we're looking to escalate that up.
Well, here's another look at it for you, Andy.
Oh yeah, she hasn't absolutely whacked her there. So the 1 minute feels like a good penalty to me.
It doesn't look like it was intentional from Anna Neville.
And the only place you can go from there is red and someone out of the game, and it wasn't that level of contact, was it? I think we can all agree.
Another penalty against Team Swift. So they have 3 on the pitch once more. This is not going to help their cause, and Iona Dryden puts the nail in the coffin on that moment because she gets another score for Team Forge. It's 9-4. Forge are creeping towards double digits, and Swift are being left behind, Annie.
Yeah, Iona's on a rampage. I think she scored the past 3 goals for them, and they're just building that lead up, and it's going to be hard for Swift to build back, to fight back into this because they've only got 3 players on the pitch, or 4 players.
Another player caught in the face there, Amelia Miller. It's starting to get quite physical, Andy. How do you as officials take control of this game again and stop it spiralling out of control?
Well, it's one of those where your communication with the players has to be good. You have to show the players where the line is by calling the appropriate penalties, and then as they approach that line, let them know, talk to them throughout the game, and maintain your standards for the whole game. And just because it's a final and just because you get into the sharp end of the game, you can't stop calling things that you would have called at 11 o'clock this morning.
Well, Iona Westwood is going to get Forge's attack started once more. And here's Ella Cohen. We've not seen her in possession for a while. And it's back with Liv Wimpenny. I can almost say, Annie, they've not really needed Ella Cohen. They've had quality elsewhere. Great save from Sienna Perec. The shot did get away from Liv Wimpenny. But yeah, we want to see Ella Cohen on the ball more.
We do, but I think it's a sign of a great final that I'm actually sitting here and I'm like, oh yes, the goalkeepers have been standout, but actually across the board, everyone has been excellent. There's no real kind of standout on-field player. They've just all pulled their weight and working as a team, both teams.
Emma Brown finds Anna Neville, but that shot goes wide. And Emily Chandler goes back to collect. Forge coming forwards now with Ella Cohen. She's got an opportunity. Oh, Iona Dryden was trying to do a behind-the-back shot, but it didn't work for the number 9.
A little Twizzler there, that's one of her signature shots.
Oh, good save from Emily Chandler, using the post to her advantage seemingly as well. Liv Wimpenny brings the attack forward again for Forge. And she breaks through the defence, but she was battered around the face with a stick. And so we've got arms waved, penalty being blown. When it's Emily Gray being singled out as the one that gave the penalty away. Tap of the 6th, though, from her captain, Laura Warren. She's put in an absolute shift once more, hasn't she, Annie?
Absolutely. Everyone's been working hard. Although I will say I was expecting Forge to be the team that would be a bit more tired after their semi-final and lack of kind of time in between the semi-final and the final. But actually, I think Swift are the ones who are looking a little bit more frazzled.
Oh, fantastic shot from Rachel Ball once again. The elusive Rachel Ball, we should probably start saying, because we don't initially notice her in attack, but the next thing you know, she's scoring. 3 seconds left. 1 second left on the clock. And it's a klaxon score for Team Swift. Millie Hughes gets the goal. And that's a brilliant moment for Team Swift to end the 3rd quarter on, but they have a mountain to climb in the 4th.
You can see the scoreboard pressure starting to tell as they're making a few mental errors and picking up more and more penalties as they push and push and push for the game. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can ratchet that down, ratchet the pressure that's on them down, and just take their time and really get into it.
We're going to go down and hear from Amy Ratapana, though, the assistant coach at Forge.
one hand on the title. What needs to happen now in this last quarter?
I think we just need to keep our composure, keep calm, keep riding the wave, and carry our momentum forward into this final quarter.
We've seen it getting a little bit spicy out there. We've seen a few yellow cards flying about. What are you saying to the team to make sure they're keeping their heads?
Yeah, again, just be really disciplined, keep the composure. If they're feeling like they're losing it a little bit, we're subbing them in and out.
And what can you say about Alex? We've been watching her here. She's been screaming out orders, but it's to the players so they understand what's been said. What can you say about her coaching?
Oh, for sure. Alex is so knowledgeable, and being able to work with her so far has been incredible. And the players have gained a lot, and I have as well. And like you said, she's given the commands to the field, and they're just responding.
Perfect stuff. Well, best of luck. Thank you.
Well, you heard there from Amy Ratapana about the importance of having Alex Carnegie-Brown as your side's head coach. She's tasted victory before. Is she about to taste it again with a new team at the Fly? Well, we're 8 minutes from finding out exactly the answer to that question. And the in-ground clock is was reading 10.6, has been corrected back to 10.5. I thought we'd missed something there for a second, Annie.
No, I'm glad that's been corrected. 5 goals in it. It's not unheard of.
It's doable. It's
doable.
going to go down to the final minutes, that's for sure. Anna Neville is in the middle for the draw against Liv Wimpenny. And here we go. The final quarter of the Fly 2023. It started with Anna Neville winning possession for Swift, but Wimpenny winning it back for Forge. But we have a penalty call. Lara waving her arms in the air. And Andy, can you translate for us?
I shall certainly do my best. That was a slash there on the Forge player. Just swinging around for the loose ball in the air is always a difficult one, particularly after the draw control, when it's not quite settled down or when any of those balls get knocked up.
Well, let's see if Swift can challenge the Forge net, because they need to do that relatively quickly. And Lottie Robertson got the shot away, but that's not the shot that's going to challenge the net for another score.
It's one of those things where they feel like they have to score at the start of every possession, but actually, you know, there's time. There's 8 minutes here. That's 16 possessions potentially. If they just slow down and make the shots count rather than rush them after 10 seconds, then they might be in with a better shout.
Here comes Iona Dryden, the Forge number 9. She's led from the front for that team, and she's leading them from the front again, leading them closer towards championship glory. That goal is certainly going to help the efforts. It takes them to 11 in this game. But Swift instantly respond. Another goal, another score, 11-6 in favour of Forge still. And that pretty much cancels out the efforts of Iona Dryden.
That was what a way to kind of get back at that Iona Dryden goal than to score straight away. But Swift need a few more if they're going to challenge and push this into potentially overtime.
Here comes Ella Cohen. We've not seen much of her in this game. That shot going away from Sophia Wise, though, was what we want to see more of from a Forge perspective. And Anna Neville was violently dispossessed by Ella Cohen. But she will keep possession for Team Swift. We've got a green card here, so that's... Explains to me what's just happened, Andy.
So that's the empty stick check that we were talking about before. That's during a pass. So slightly different to the women's field game, where if somebody doesn't have possession of the ball, you can't check their stick. In 60s, you can, but only when the ball's loose. And a pass between two players isn't loose. It's in team possession. So that's why there's a time-serving penalty there.
Well, Lottie Robertson now in possession for Swift, and that pass sails over the top of Anna Neville's stick, and there's nothing the team icon could do about that. Because despite being a member of the England setup, the Exeter Ones captain, a Fly winner in previous years, she can't grow a good foot and a half in about 10 seconds to reach that pass. So Sarah Butler handed that off to Sophia Wise. And Wise passes off to Dryden. It's with Wimpenny. Oh, off the post, but into the hands of Swift. And they're going to break away with the ball. They managed to keep a hold of it despite the bobbling bounce. But Lottie Robertson hits the crossbar. And I believe that means they're going to keep possession, Andy.
Yes, it certainly does.
Look at me learning.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Just wish some of the players had figured it out.
Well, here comes Swift once more. They have another attack. They have another opportunity. Laura Warren now looking for a friend. No, she goes on her own. She gets the score as well. Laura Warren scores one-on-one with Emily Chandler. And she brings her side closer to hitting double digits, which they do need to do, and quickly, if they want to stay in the fight for the Fly Women's 2023 title.
Looks like we've got a timeout though.
Black timeout.
Timeout called by Forge. And let's see if we can have a nosy in on these huddles as well now.
Yeah, but she's carried,
right.
and she's carried them the whole tournament, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we can find people afterwards.
Yeah, coming up.
So, intensity, focus, voices, and then the attack, let's just not go individual. It works when we move the ball. Okay? So move the ball, but you're also a bit static, which is why people are starting to go individual. That's the number one sign. Okay? So give yourself the shape and the space and rotate. Work hard for 5 more minutes.
Let's go 5 minutes. Let's make this easy work. Yeah? Come on. Up there.
Let's go forward.
Less than 5 minutes to play now in the final game of the Fly 2023, the final quarter of the women's final. We are moments away from finding out who our Fly 2023 champion will be. At the moment, it could still be either side. It's only a 4-point gap between the two sides, and Annie, we know how quickly games can flip on their head in sixes lacrosse.
Absolutely.
But a great score, sorry there, Annie. Great score from Sarah Butler. She's been hunting for a score like that all game.
Yeah, absolutely. She's requested to be called Sarah, the New Zealand legend, Butler, by the way.
Sarah, the New Zealand legend, Butler. Yeah. Should we just call her Kiwi?
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Well, the Kiwi isn't in possession. It's Swift on the ball at the moment. Liv Wimpenny with a crucial intervention, though. She's scooped up the ball. She's looking for support inside. Sophia Wise sends it into the back of the net. That's score number 15 for Forge. Great counter-attacking from Team Forge, started off by the individual brilliance of Liv Wimpenny. It's getting all excited there. The in-ground clock was wrong once again with the scores, Annie. But here comes Emily Chandler, off on a bike, and that one's batted out.
But I think it's still Forge's ball because it came off the leg of Lily Rowlands.
She knows the rules. She knows what she was doing. She's just giving the rest of us a heart attack, venturing out from her goal. Here comes Westwood. Forge still looking for a way through. Alex Kant offloads that once more. Westwood's low-driven shot. Iona Westwood, fresh off of her first World Cup last year, sending in shots like that during this game are going to help her side. And Emily Chandler seemingly just walks on water because there's nothing that she can do wrong in this game.
Just look at her, very casual. It's like she's going for a Sunday stroll.
She just exuberates confidence.
And that's what you want from a captain, really. It's, as I said, it's great being a goalkeeper to captain, having the view of the whole thing, but sometimes it's hard if you're not actually in that attacking setup to kind of keep everyone calm. But she's managing so from back.
Well, Amelia Miller is looking for someone to take that ball off her, and Lottie Robertson got the shot away. And Emily Chandler used all of her body to stop that. And we've got a yellow card being waved in the air. What's this for, Andy? Lottie Robertson's making her way off.
That's a dangerous follow-through, so that's are not permitted to follow through into an opposition player.
What do you mean by dangerous follow-through as well, for those watching at home who aren't quite as well versed in lacrosse as yourself?
So once you've released the ball from your stick, you can't then continue your follow-through into a player. So you have to control your stick even after you've let go of the ball there.
I get you. Well, Forge have another attack, another interesting passage of play. They're working the crease really well here because they're moving Team Swift around it in defence, but that's a wayward pass. Is this a dispossession? Well, it's rolled away from the rest of the Forge team, and Sarah Butler went to collect it, but shot clock violation. Possession turned over. Less than 2 minutes to play now. 6 points in it here at Roslyn Park. And that pass isn't going to help efforts, because also Amelia Miller can't grow any taller.
Absolutely. You're seeing, I feel like Swift are doing something that kind of Rise did in the semi-final. A few more panic passes, a few more trying to force the goals, force the shots off, when actually really they shouldn't be taking it. They should just, they've still got time.
Well, Lona Dryden was taking her time on the ball, so was Liv Wimpenny. Let's see what they do with the position that they're in. Westwood, she's looking at the back. It's going to fall away from Sarah Butler. And this gives me a great opportunity, Annie. Who is your player of the match?
I think this is the hardest one, because I think everyone on the field has been exceptional. I don't think there's been any real absolute standouts. Iona Dryden, I think, has really come into her own, especially in the second half. Liv Wimpenny has been all over the midfield.
I'm going to intervene. I think Emily Chandler should be your player of the match.
I was going to finish with Emily Chandler.
Just for that save. I mean,
yeah.
Look at that. She pounced into action.
No, I was going to say, I think actually though, out of all the Forge, Emily Chandler has led. I say from the front, but from the back. There we are. And again,
another amazing save. It really is a day for the keepers in these finals at the Fly 2023. And her efforts again, stopping Swift from scoring and giving Forge an opportunity to attack forwards. 20 seconds left on the clock. They've just got to keep possession, and then they'll be announced champions of the Women's Fly 2023. 10 seconds left on the score clock. We're clicking further down towards crowning our victors. 2 seconds, 1 second. Here it comes. That's the klaxon. Forge are your 2023 Fly Women's Champions. They've defeated Team Swift 13-7, but a huge shout out to Team Swift for even getting this far, because everyone seemingly had written them off after their first 3 games, but they rose to the challenge today and they put on one heck of a show for us to enjoy. Forge, though, have triumphed 13-7 in the final. They are your Fly 2023 champions, and Emily Chandler, Annie, is your player of the match. But before we hear from them, we're going to hear from Liv Wimpenny, another crucial member of that Team Forge side.
Liv, you've just won the Fly 2023. What are you feeling?
Incredible, amazing. Woo!
What is it like being able to captain all of these girls onto a pitch and winning the trophy?
Yeah, I mean, amazing. We've grown every single game. It's been incredible. And at the end there, it was just, the composure was insane, and we're so proud of them.
And look who's coming over, your partner in crime, Chandler. What can you say about that? You had an absolute stormer.
Thank you. And we just grew every quarter again, which has literally been our aim every single game. And each game we've grown, and it's just been so, so good. And that second half was just unreal. Unreal.
An enjoyable game.
Yeah.
And what's it been like being coached by someone like ACB? I mean, how brilliant is she?
I mean, our brains are definitely full now. Yeah. She's got a lot of wisdom, which is amazing,
so
but so good.
I'm right, it's been unreal as well. Yeah. She was so good.
And now finally, how are we going to celebrate tonight? Are we going out big?
I think we'll be going home, having a bath, chilling, and then work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I get it. We're on TV. You can't say everything. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to see just how much this victory means for them and how much they credit Alex Carnegie Brown with being the brain behind the business. that sent them to victory here at the Fly 2023. And I'll say one thing now, Annie, despite the result, it's just fantastic to see everyone pretty much in that tunnel saying congratulations for a great game of lacrosse sixes action, but they've all thoroughly enjoyed themselves.
Absolutely. I think it got a little bit fiery in the third quarter, but actually the game, actually all the matches have been played in pretty good spirits and everyone's just having a good time. Sun is shining, they're playing lacrosse. What more do you want?
What more do you want? I couldn't have asked for anything else. But look, that does bring the Fly 2023 to a close as well, Annie. That's the final act in this year's performance, and it's been a fantastic year filled with brilliant individuals. And we're going to hear from another individual that's been brilliant. Lottie Robertson is down with Cian Tuckey.
Goals at the end.
Oh, we fought so hard and we came in here major underdogs and we just had such a good performance this morning, such a good team, and we gave it our all. We gave left our hearts on the field, and yeah, tough to take, but we had a really good day, so we've got to take the positives from that.
You've seemed to just turn it on today compared to the rest of the tournament. Has there been a flicking point?
I reckon so. I think coming in the underdogs is quite a good mentality, quite a fun place to be, and just last weekend of lacrosse and just give it our all and have a lot of fun and enjoy playing as a team one last time.
Lottie, for yourself, you're top goal scorer in the tournament. You've had a brilliant tournament. What have you thought about it?
Oh, it's been so much fun. I've not done it before, so it was just enjoying. Every time I play sixes, I just love it even more. So just really good fun and such great quality standard and just so much fun.
Is it fair to say you're starting to really like sixes across then?
Yeah, it's good.
And finally, what can you say about the tournament as a whole? How great is this for getting people involved in lacrosse?
Yeah, it's so much fun, and obviously it's such a fast-paced sport, and anyone who doesn't watch it, I can't believe you don't. And yeah, I think it's just well run and such a great facility and just really good fun. And yeah, I think got a good crowd, so great spectators.
First time this year. Can we see you next year?
Let's hope so.
Perfect stuff. Thank you very much and commiserations.
Well, what a day. And it's been capped off with possibly one of the best matches we've seen today as well. The quality of lacrosse just kept getting better and better and better, Annie. But those are our champions. Team Forge. They'll soon be officially crowned, but they were the ones that really stepped up to the mark today. And actually, they rose to the challenge after losing their first match.
Absolutely. I think they've probably been one of the more consistent teams. All their matches have been very tight. I know a lot of people, like the men's, wanted Swift to kind of come through the little fairy tale story, having not won anything, to being champions. It wasn't to be today, but probably, yeah, the more consistent team came out, and it showed. They just, each quarter, they didn't have any dips. They just kind of plugged away, got the goals on the board, and it showed.
Absolutely. And look, Forge did force their way to glory, but Swift, rightly so, really gave them a run for their money, really took a fight to them and forced them to step up the level of play. And really, that's exactly what they did. They just found another gear which we hadn't seen before in this competition, and they pulled together with the amazing plethora of individual talent at their disposal. And they got the accolade that they deserve. They're walking over now to receive their trophy. And there's Emily Chandler, the player of the match, one of the most important members of that winning team. But just look at them running over, hugging each other. Annie, talk me through the emotions that must be going through their heads right now.
Oh, they'll be ecstatic. They've plugged away. I don't think many people really... No one wrote off Forge, but I think the hype was always with Rise throughout this whole women's tournament. And also Hustle was the other kind of one that people were looking at. So Forge, I mean, they were champions last year, but it is a new team. There's only a handful that were from last year, but they managed to retain the title. And I just think it's great that actually they get the recognition they deserve for like a solid play throughout the whole tournament.
Well, they've really done their team proud and given their all. And there is Emily Chandler. She's led her team to victory alongside Liv Wimpenny, her fellow captain. And let's talk a little bit more about the team icon within Forge, Ella Cohen. She was a star throughout the entire tournament, wasn't she?
Absolutely. She was solid in every single match. Beautiful goals, beautiful hustling in the midfield. One of the younger players as well out here, and she absolutely held her own and shone.
And they're walking together now as a team. I know we keep talking about individuals, but they're there together as a team now. They're about to receive their trophy, about to receive the accolade, because they are the Fly 2023 champions. And there's the trophy. And Emily Chandler and Liv Wimpenny lift it high, because Forge are your Fly champions here at Roslyn Park, basking in the sunshine, and the sun will continue to shine on all of those players and one amazing team. And there is the coach, Alex Carnegie-Brown, with the champion sign, joining in with the celebrations as well. I think someone's found a bottle of Prosecco by the looks of things as well, and that's being shaken around. Annie, these are brilliant scenes.
Absolutely, the happiness on their face, and not too many sunburnt faces as well, which I'm surprised about.
I need to find out what their hack is. They've obviously done something different to the traditional methods.
Yeah, there's something said about lacrosse in the summer. It's traditionally a winter sport, but the sunshine makes it 10 times better.
The cheers continue to ring out here at Roslyn Park.
ACB, Forge have done it again, back-to-back champions for the women's team. I mean, how has, not just today, but how has the entire Fly tournament for 2023 been for you?
I mean, it's been brilliant. Coming here and bringing fans here rather than being in Lilleshall has been a huge step forward for us. And for the tournament, it's been really fun to play in such a exciting crowd atmosphere, which is really new for everybody. The weather's been great. And then, and as a team, I feel we really build over the 3 weekends. So we didn't have our best game first, but we had our best game last. And I think that's what matters at the end of the day.
Oh, you've summed it up perfectly. You had your best game last. And I think we all saw it as well. The girls seem to have just gelled and bonded together so well. I mean, what takeaways do you think you could bring, hopefully for maybe next year? Do you think you could maybe do it 3 times in a row?
Yeah, I'll just have to see whether Helen will let me keep the same team for next year or take them all back off me again. But yeah, no, I think there's no reason that this couldn't be repeat for the Forge franchise, which is great. I hope the players have learned a lot. Like, we set out to make sure they all grew and learned, no matter what the results were. And I think seeing some of the coaching stuff we talked about after the first, second weekends and seeing it being put into practice, incredibly rewarding, and it's so well deserved for the players.
Oh, exactly. And even speaking to some of the fans that have come out as well, they've loved seeing the skills that have been on show for everybody to see. And I think people don't realise and stuff as well that these girls don't tend to play with each other, you know, normal day to day. It's literally just a new team that's been set up for the Fly this year. So that's just been fantastic too. But I mean, what words of advice have you given your team and stuff throughout the tournament that you think has propelled them to victory today?
The big mantra we've had is each quarter getting better every game. So no matter what level we just produce in the quarter, we know we have another level. So that's been a really big one for us. We've talked about playing with intensity. We've talked really about playing together. We, as you said, a team of quite disparate people, but we've been able to grow together. And we said, it doesn't matter what happens the first couple of weekends. The important thing is we keep growing and getting better every game. And then really wanting it to be a team effort. I didn't want a top scorer that was 20 goals ahead of everybody else. I wanted loads of people on the score sheet to make us really hard to mark, and that's what they also delivered.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, you're probably going to want to just put your feet up now, relax, celebrate with your team. So I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much. You've been inspiring to kind of watch and stuff as well. But congratulations for you and the team. No worries. Thank you.